All right, I'll start by addressing Baker's comments last night. I've talked to Baker about it this morning. Just like he stated last night, he understands that we don't want him addressing other players' injuries in that manner, especially. Odell and our training staff have done a tremendous job of getting Odell to the game each and every week up to this point. So for that, they've done a good job. I understand everybody wants to ask a bunch of questions about it, but that's really the only info I have is without going into detail what Baker and I discuss. But it's been addressed, and he understands how to handle things like that moving forward.
Can you just answer though, Freddie, was surgery debated for Odell during training camp?
Our training staff and Odell have done a tremendous job, moving forward and getting him to the game each and every week. So that's really the only thing. I don't discuss like potentials. All right, so I'll just leave it at that.
Has there been any conversation about shutting Odell down since he's not at 100% and he's averaging 3 catches a game?
No, there has not.
Why?
No, there has not.
Why wouldn't it be addressed? Is he still good enough to help the team?
I think he's helping the team. Odell's doing a great job of he wants to be out there for his teammates, and I like him to be out there for his teammates. And he's been doing a good job of getting prepared during the course of the week to get to the game on Sunday. Now, last night was a great, solid divisional win for us. All right, it took us to 1-0 last week, and we're looking to go to 1-0 this week. All right, moving forward to Arizona. Offensively, it wasn't the night we'd like to have in the passing game, but we did complete some big third down passes that extended some drives, all right, that were very crucial to our success. Defensively, we gave up some yards, but we really did a great job in the red zone, held them 1-5, 20% in the red zone, and made them kick 4 field goals, which was a huge difference in the game. We scored a defensive touchdown, which was huge. It was good to see the corners get their hands on some balls. And special teams did a great job covering kicks. And starting field position for them was about the 21-yard line, which was a huge factor in the game.
Baker's your captain, face your franchise. Do you worry that his criticism of the medical staff could create some mistrust between the rest of the locker room and,
No.
and the medical people?
I'm not worried. Our training staff does a fine job. No, I'm not worried about that at all.
Is this something you obviously broached the subject with us today? Do you do the same with the team?
What I talk about with the team is just me and the team.
But Baker issued something of a public apology. Did he privately meet with anybody in the medical staff?
Again, all that will remain between us, but I know that Baker, just like he stated last night, he understands, he understands the severity of it, and he understands what he did wrong. So,
Is it disappointing to come off of another win, another home win, and have all this kind of unnecessary drama surrounding this team?
well, as a head coach in the National Football League, you're always having to deal with stuff. We like to keep the focus on ourselves internally, and really maybe the distractions that someone may seem like is happening outside the building is really not a distraction inside the building.
Can you quantify how much the injury has affected Odell on game day?
No.
Does he look, slower, not able to jump as high as he normally would?
No, I mean, Odell's a good football player, and he's been giving us some good plays. Him and Jarvis are combined for the 6 most catches in the league from a duo, and then you add a 1,000-yard rusher to that, and there's no other offense that's done that. So I think maybe the expectation level for Odell is a expectation level of Odell without anybody else. We've got other guys too.
Freddie, what exactly is Odell's injury? Yesterday he said he doesn't we should ask the doctors. He doesn't really know. I mean, we've seen hip, groin. Is it the same injury there that's affecting him? And is it a sports hernia, which was reported?
I really don't want to comment on the specifics of anything like that.
Odell hasn't said much publicly. He's been a team guy when he fields questions, but people around him are talking, and that's where a lot of the questions are coming from. Is there a concern that you guys need to kind of clean some things up behind the scenes with him to get whatever has been fractured in this relationship back on track?
I think you're insinuating that things are fractured. I don't see that they're fractured. I see him out there. Say that again?
There's been 3 stories in the last 24 hours talking about Odell wanting out of here and problems with him being here, and that. So I'm not insinuating or making anything up. I mean, that's what's out there.
Did Odell say that?
No, but
Okay. Case closed then. Odell didn't say it. Odell has not told me anything remotely dealing with that. I know he's done a great job of getting to the game on Sunday.
I just want to clarify, when I asked you about, was that debated in training camp? I mean, the trainers could have said, hey, you got to get this operated on, and Odell could have said, I'll play through it. I mean, anything like that?
I'm not going to comment on anything like that. Sorry. I really said all I'm going to say about the injury or whatever, so.
After the game, when you were asked about the first half and the pass per run, first run, you said there were pass plays there that you thought you were after, and you weren't gaining enough when you were running the ball. Why did it change then? Why in the second half you could run at will virtually?
Well, I think we made some adjustments in what we were doing. Came out and made a concerted effort to run the ball. When you have 2 turnovers in back-to-back series, it's hard to sustain anything. So at that point, after the second turnover, we only had, I think, 8 or 9 plays left in the game, in the half. We only ran 21 or 22 plays in the first half. So, we only had 8 series, which was, we scored on 4 of our 8 possessions. You need to be, when you only have 8 possessions, you need to be successful on all 8 of those. And we moved the ball out. We turned the ball over twice in those 8 possessions. So really, without the turnover, we scored on 4 of 6 possessions. Now you have to count the turnovers because that stopped the drive. That we were moving the ball down the field pretty good. And then on another turnover, we had a couple of guys open. So, but anytime you score 4 out of 8 possessions, it's pretty good.
I would say the reason you turned it over is because you threw it.
Yeah, everybody would say that after you turn it over, but right? If we're we threw an interception in New England from flipping the ball like 2 feet. So, I consider that a run, Tony. But we don't get credit for a fumble. We get credit for a interception. Yeah, no doubt.
Did Olivier Vernon have a setback?
We thought it was best. Olivier really wanted to get back for Pittsburgh, and we thought it was best just to give him another week. He wanted to go again. We felt like it was best just to give him a little more time.
So he'll play this week, based on what you're
We'll
saying?
see how it goes during the course of the week.
The Kendall Lamb, he was up against a guy who had 3 sacks the week before. How did he do?
He did very well. Offensive line-wise, I thought we had our best game yet against last night or yesterday. I think we gave up 1 sack. We were on those guys in the run game as far as maintaining blocks and things like that down the field. Did an excellent job on a critical screen pass that we had late in the game on 3rd and 10. Did an excellent job downfield. Just overall, I think those guys played one of their best games across the board. I thought Greg Robinson played good. Joel played good. JC played good. Wyatt came on and made some advancements in the way he played. And then the right tackle played good, Kendall.
Would you keep Kendall in there even if Chris is healthy again?
We haven't broached that yet. We haven't got to that point yet.
Freddie,
You mentioned your defense's efforts in the red zone on those stops. What do you make of Sheldrick Redwine's performance, especially on that third quarter, third down pass breakup and just other plays? And then just his overall performance as his opportunity to increase here?
I think the last couple of weeks, Sheldrick's done the things that's earned him the right to play more, and that continued yesterday. I think he was a factor in the game positively. His range is very evident when he's in the middle of the field. His range, I mean, he made a great play on the double pass, the trick play that they had, and I think he got there quicker than the guy even expected and kind of stopped him in his tracks. And as much of a catch and tackle you could have on a play like that, he made it happen, which was a huge play in the game. So I think Sheldrick's done a good job. They can keep coming.
Make that interception that would have prevented obviously the field goal, or is that just a tough play?
Of course, because he had a great opportunity to, and he expects to make that play too.
Well, can he play the other safety position?
I think we've got a pretty good rotation there with him, Justin, Demarius, and JT Hassel comes in from time to time too, and so I think we've got a pretty good rotation. I think as long as you continue to play well, your snaps continue to increase.
Freddie, would Nick Chubb win the NFL rushing title have personal meaning to you?
Anytime you see a guy like, first I'll answer that question by saying that's the last thing on Nick Chubb's mind. All right, he wants to win this week. He wants to go 1-0 this week. But anytime a guy as special as Nick is, as a person and a player, receives any type of recognition, it's deserved. I don't think his end goal is not to win any kind of title except the last title.
But what about you, though? I mean, you're the play caller, and you've got two dynamic receivers and a young quarterback, and to have the NFL rushing champion,
right.
What does it mean to the coordinator of this team?
Well, I think, the wins and losses mean more to me than anything, and I think we need to continue to try to go 1-0 this week. I truly don't think about those kind of things,
Baker's way down at the bottom of the barrel of the statistics, but, with things like what happened yesterday with the David Njoku interception and some of the other things, I mean, do you feel like he is playing better or at least trending in the right direction, and this doesn't tell the picture of what he's doing?
I don't think stats are never the end all for any type of evaluation. There's been a lot of passes tipped, and there's been some that the receivers have overcompensated for and made plays on the ball. So I don't think stats, you can never, just go strictly off stats. I think at the end of the day, yesterday, we started fast. A pick or fumble, whatever they classified that as at the end down there with David. I know we need to come up off the ground with that ball either way. So the other ball was tipped. I think there's some throws he'd like to have back, and I'd like to have them back, but also know that in critical moments of the game, he'd made some advancements. Like we converted that last drive. Now we started at the 2, and the next time they got the ball was with 1 minute to go in the game after we'd kicked a field goal to increase the lead to 11. So that was a huge drive, and in the midst of that drive, we converted 3 third downs. That's huge. So I think, he made some critical throws in that area too.
Do you think he's trending in the right direction, and do you feel like he's made significant growth this season, even though it's not maybe necessary?
I think being quarterback in the NFL is just like, you're always evolving. And I think he's made growth in the position, in handling things around him, and handling things internally from the standpoint of what sets yourself up to get to the next level of advancement. And I think he's forming a tremendous foundation right now.
How would you characterize the relationship with Baker and Odell throughout the season and then up to now?
I think Odell and Baker's relationship is fine. I think it's good.
On Baker, since the whole week was about his hand, he had several throws that were high. Did the hand have any effect on his throwing?
No.
been high on a lot, I mean, during the course of the year, right? I mean, you would agree with that?
I would say that he continues to work every week to get better in all areas.
Freddie, I know you said that Odell's never told you that he wanted out. Have you ever sensed that he's been unhappy or still trying to find his way with the new organization?
I have not sensed that.
We know what Kareem Hunt's numbers were yesterday, but beyond the numbers, now that he's been in his 5th game, how did he shape the game yesterday, the way you were able to play offense?
Well, listen, we've got two fine running backs back there, and one that can create plays in space, and two really. I'm glad we got both those guys back there, but Kareem, as we move forward, his role will continue to increase. I hope that answers your question. I don't really know what the question was, but I just know I like the two guys we've got when the quarterback turns around and looks back there.
When either one of the backs is split alongside Mayfield and kind of a T there in the shotgun, what challenges does that present to a defense?
Well, I think it's, when you can run the ball either side, there's really no strength to the formation from a run game standpoint. And then you can release both the guys out of the backfield, and both of them have good hands and are able to make plays with the ball after the ball's in their hands. And not to mention the fact that I would mention that goes unnoticed is both of them are excellent pass protectors. So now if you need to throw the ball down the field a little bit, you can do it because they can hold up in pass protection.
Two more here. His role will continue to evolve and expand. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think you've had both of them in the backfield with Baker under center.
No,
Question would
they
be
have
why not?
actually. We lined up in the eye yesterday, 3rd and 2, Tony. Yes, 3rd and 2.
It has to be one of the first time.
Or you were going to the bathroom or something, Tony. They were in the eye. We handed it off to Nick Chubb.
Yeah, but most of the time when they're both in the backfield, he's either in the pistol or in the shotgun.
Yeah, for the most
Schematically,
part.
what's the reason for that?
Just to allow you to do more protections out of it. They have to think about different things. Very disappointed though, Tony. You missed the eye. Okay.
I know you don't want to give away anything strategically, but when you play the two backs, do you find that teams don't know how to defend that at times because they don't see it much?
You just have to make a calculated guess on how they would play it. I don't really concern myself too much how, we see how they're playing it and then we adjust accordingly. I think it gives us a lot of versatility, if maybe that answers your question.
You caught anybody by surprise when Kareem first came back with sets?
Yeah, no, I don't think so. I mean, I think they, you've got one of two choices. You can just substitute him in, or you can get two of your best players on the field at the same time. So we choose to do that more so than anything else.
To go back.
Now, this is 3.
This is the last one.
Go ahead, Nate.
Just unfinished business on all this Odell stuff. The latest national report calls into question his relationship with the coaching staff. What is the state of your relationship with him and your staff's relationship with him?
Yeah, until I hear something from Odell, I'm not going to come. I mean, Odell and my relationship's fine, So Odell and Adam's relationship is fine. I don't know what. I mean, I'm sorry. I don't think there's any gotcha moment here, okay? But I can only tell you what I think and what I've seen from Odell, and what I've seen from Odell is nothing like the reports indicate. So, sorry. Jeff, there you go again. He just said, last question, and you want to get one more.
But why do you think this cloud just follows Odell wherever he goes?
I don't know, Jeff. I don't know. We don't listen. I'm be as serious as I can. I think our guys have done a tremendous job this year of blocking out the almost, or the what ifs, or the I heards, or whatever. They just they come to work every day, and everything in here stays in here. All right, and they try to block out the outside noise, and I think they've done a great job of that.